today I'm on a mission to make my bedroom more functional. This is what it looked like when we first made it over, and here's what it looks like now. I redid the whole closet and it worked well for a while, but now we are finding ourselves with clothes everywhere. It's just throwing off the whole vibe of the bedroom, so today I'm gonna come up with a DIY solution to fix this problem. Welcome to today's video, guys. If you haven't noticed, I do have a new backdrop, and this is from my living room refresh video, which we just did. You guys left such nice comments on it, and I'm glad that you love it as much as I do. And if you didn't watch it, make sure to go back and do so. Doing these refreshes has really inspired me to take a look back at some of my rooms and just fix them. So in today's video, we are doing an IKEA hack. My new mantra is, if you don't love it, don't live with it. And as you saw from that footage, my bedroom is just not looking its best. I've done a bunch of different upgrades to the room, but right now it is just not functioning the way that I want it to, so it's not looking its best because we have so many clothes just sitting around. What's crazy is that I feel like I've downsized our closet a lot, especially since moving, but with Brian and I sharing a closet, I just need more room, so I've accepted the fact that we're just gonna need to add a lot more storage in here, so that is why I'm choosing to go with an IKEA dresser. And usually if I have an IKEA piece in my home, you know that we're going to have to hack it, so this is kind of the goal. I've had these pieces pinned on my Pinterest for a while, so I think that we can get a similar look with an IKEA dresser. I want to show you guys how to DIY this for less, so let's head over to IKEA and find the perfect dresser. All the storage in this, especially this top drawer, is a little bit smaller, so you could put jewelry or underwear and bras and stuff like that. And there are 4 big drawers, which I'm probably gonna put all my pajamas in. Remember when you hid in one of these and tried to scare me, but then it was someone else? Brian hid in one of these closets and he thought I was walking by and jumped out, but it was someone else. Wonder what's in here.
No, I didn't. That was so embarrassing.
They changed everything and now I'm lost. 28. Right here. 2 packages.
I almost hurt myself, buddy.
Be careful, buddy.
Thanks for all the help.
You're welcome. Help me, honey.
Too tired.
Well, that's too damn bad.
No chaotic energy today. No, just kidding.
Wait.
What?
Why are you opening it like that?
Is this how everyone opens boxes?
No.
How are you guys doing today?
Ooh. Ta-da! These are all the drawers.
Alright, here we go, guys. 3, 2... Nah, just kidding. You guys gotta suffer with this.
To be honest, there are some days that I just really don't want to assemble furniture, but today was not one of those days because I was so excited for what this dresser was going to do to improve not just my room, but also our everyday lives. I don't know about you guys, but seeing clothes everywhere is definitely a stressor, and I think that clothes storage has always been an issue for me. I think in every home I've lived in, I've had clothes just sitting elsewhere besides the closet. I can distinctly remember my hot pink room in middle school just having clothes all over my bed, and also that laundry chair that everyone has just being full for weeks on end. So now that we have our own home, I just wanted to look and feel its best, and to do that, everything in your home needs its own home as well. So this is going to do exactly that. Yay! Alright, so the dresser is looking pretty good. I'm not going to put them all together because I actually do need to work on the drawer fronts. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. I'm actually going to take this to Home Depot and get a paint match because it's not quite black and I really want something that will match it perfectly. Before we go, I need to eat some lunch. I am starving right now and I'm very excited because I'm having Factor for lunch, which is always my favorite. They're today's video sponsor and we are huge Factor fans in this household. So today I'm having the chicken and mushroom tetrazzini. Factor provides balanced eating made simple. Their menus are actually updated each week with dozens of delicious and nutritious meals. Everything is chef created and also chef made, which you can totally taste the difference because every single meal that I've had from them has been amazing. You can choose your favorite meals or they can create your box based on your taste preferences and meal history. Plus orders are delivered straight to your door and they are never frozen along the way, which I think really makes a difference in the quality of the food that you're getting. Having these meals in my fridge and ready to go has been such a game changer to me, especially since I'm running around every week doing DIYs. Most days I would work right through lunch, so I was skipping a ton of meals and that was becoming such a bad habit. So I love that I have these in my fridge. They're ready to go and I can just heat them up in just 2 minutes. I'm spending less time meal prepping and going to the grocery store and cooking and more time DIYing while also getting a meal in. And if you follow a specific lifestyle, they have meat, seafood, and veggie options. And all the nutrition info is on the back, so that makes it super convenient. That way you know exactly what is in each meal and what you're putting into your body. So I find this to be super helpful. So I love these for lunch and dinner, but they also have Factor Plus, which are add-ons. So you can get things like smoothies, which I'm usually having in the morning if I'm not having my overnight oats. And they also have other options like juices and soups and energy bites and even dessert. There's definitely a lot to choose from to customize your box, and if you guys want to try them out, they're giving you 60% off of your first box. That is a huge savings, and you can use the code TINA60 at checkout to get those savings. All the info will be in my description box, so make sure you check it out. This is so convenient and so tasty.
How's your trip to Home Depot so far?
So we got into an accident in the parking lot. Brian doesn't want to talk about it, but yeah.
Just to clarify, they hit us.
Yeah, unfortunately. So I am back and I ended up not getting a paint match to this. I handed this to the guy at the counter and he basically looked at it and said, "Oh, well this is a stain so we can't match it." And I was like, yeah, I kind of wanted just like a paint for it, but then he already was taking me to the stain aisle to look at all the different stains, which he concluded it was a black stain, which I already have, and I honestly wanted to paint the extra pieces that I was going to add because as we know, this is IKEA furniture and this is not stained wood, it's just like a veneer on top. So in that moment, I decided I'm just going to use some black paint that I already have at home. That way I'm not spending any extra money on this project. So honestly, that kind of worked out. And since the part that I'm painting is going to be black, you really won't see it. I also picked up some wood for the dividers and then the trim for the outside of the door front, so we will be getting to that. But right now I want to work on the legs. So on my Pinterest board, I've had this little nightstand pinned for a while and I really love the little triangles on the legs, so I want to add that to this dresser. So I'm going to use a scrap piece of wood and just cut this on my miter saw and then attach it to the bottom. I definitely have to do a second coat on these, so I'm gonna work on the drawer fronts while these dry. The game plan is to add some caning, so I have a beautiful square weave cane. I just got a full roll of this, and this is actually made with plastic, so you can see that the color is really uniform, which I think is nice. If you get one with a natural weave, it'll have a lot more variation in color, which I love the look of, but I think it's gonna be too matchy-matchy with our bed frame, so I opted for this. And when I put it up against the drawer, I just do not like that you could see the black underneath. I was really debating on painting this, but I really just did not want to sand and prime and paint, and that would require a lot of downtime to wait for everything to dry. So instead, I thought, why don't we just wallpaper it with some of this leftover wallpaper? This is a textured faux grass cloth, and I like that it has a natural color, so it's gonna make a good backdrop for the caning to go on top of. So I think this looks a lot nicer. So this is gonna be my first step, and I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it onto all of the drawer fronts. This is done and ready to go, so I was trying to figure out how to put the cane on here. Usually I would just staple it on like this, but since we're putting trim around there, I really wanted to make sure that it was nice and flat, so I hammered down the screws, and I think it worked really well, but I decided to try some Mod Podge, and look at how nice that looks. It stuck on there pretty great. I just had to flatten it down and make sure that I had something heavy on top, but it looks really nice, so I think I'm going to do it this way. Honestly, either way works, but I always want to show you guys different options, especially if you're not comfortable using a staple gun or don't have one. You can totally use glue and it will have the same effect. So this cane was really easy to use, and since it's made from a plastic material, you don't need to soak it to stretch it like you would with regular caning. And I must say the price on this was pretty reasonable, so I will link this along with all the other materials that I'm using for this project below for you guys. Previously, when we lived in LA, we would go to the cane supply shop, which was the best. It was amazing to see all the different styles and colors that they have, but I know that there aren't very many cane supply stores overall. So if you are looking for it online, the best place that I found with great prices and ship times are usually on Amazon and Etsy. I love pairing caning with black accents because it gives it a more updated and modern look, so this IKEA hack is perfect for my bedroom. And let me know in the comments if you guys remember my old IKEA hack that I did at our previous place. I took an old IKEA headboard and hacked it in a similar fashion to this one, so I definitely have a style. This looks so funny, but here's what we're working with. I have the drawer fronts right here, and then I just have a bunch of paint cans weighing it all down. I did check one of them and it looked pretty good, so I'm just going to leave it until it dries down completely, but this is working well so far. So I was trying to figure out if I should stain these or not, and right now they're just a regular pine color. I think it looks fine, but it might be a little bit too light, so I tried out this stain, which is just a touch darker, but I think it makes such a difference, so we're gonna have to stain all of them before we can attach them. Not only are we gonna make this beautiful, but we also wanna make it super functional, so I wanna make some dividers for inside each of the drawers. So for this drawer, I have a bunch of my pajama shirts, which are actually Brian's old t-shirts, and I just stole them from him, and now I wear them to sleep. And I'm trying to figure out how many fit in each one, because usually I fold them like this, and then I stack them vertically so that they're nice and in order. But what I realized is that they fall over a lot of the time. So if I had a divider in here, these would actually stay stacked and looking nice. So that is the goal, and I think with the way that I have these folded, I could probably fit 3 of these, which actually fits so much better than what I have going on right now. Yes. Okay, that is perfect. I'm gonna do some math to figure this out here, but I'm basically using poplar wood. This one here is 6 inches wide, which is the same height as the drawer. So this is gonna be the pieces going this way to divide it. And then you can use the same wood to divide it the horizontal way to keep everything nice and spaced out. But I wanted to save some money, so I actually got some wood that is thinner because these are about 2 something and then these bigger ones are 7 something. So this does save money once you add it all up and you buy 10 of them. I didn't want to make anything permanent, so this is perfect because then you're able to actually remove it if you don't want to use it for the future. Gonna put the 2 pieces in here along each side, and then I'm basically going to take the measurement, and that way we can find how long each one of these should be. So now we could fit these in. Oh my god, this already makes me so happy. T-shirt test. Oh, okay. Wow, that looks good. Guess who spilled paint and didn't notice until it dried on the floor? I did. You know what? I could just hide it behind here and it's fine. Alright, so it is a new day and my goal with this project was to finish it within 2 to 3 days, and we are basically able to do this in 2 days because I'm finishing it today. So I think this project can definitely be done over a weekend, especially since we did not paint. That definitely saved on a lot of time. So I'm really glad I went with the wallpaper because it looks amazing. This is how it looks all dried. You can see that it's perfectly flat. Now I'm going to move on to all the trim pieces. So originally I wanted to just glue it down and see how that worked, but I don't think that is going to be possible, especially with the caning on the edges here. So I'm going to be using my brad nailer for this, but we have our 2 shorter pieces that are going to go on each side. Then we have the horizontal pieces, which will fit right in between there. And I did actually cut these a little bit bigger just in case they didn't fit. That way you can always cut it down later on. And I find that to be the easiest way to do things. It'll actually save you some material because if you cut it too short, then you can't really use it again. So I always cut it a little bit bigger just in case, but it looks like these fit fine. So it's gonna look, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pick this up. So it's gonna look a little something like this, which I think looks so close to the original. It is time to get some knobs on here. So these are the ones that came with the dresser. These are really simple black knobs and they're also made out of plastic, so they feel kind of cheap. And I don't know why, but IKEA always has like wooden or plastic knobs. So we're gonna give them a little bit of an upgrade with these metal ones. These are very simple and minimal. I feel like this is totally something that you would see at West Elm. It's gonna be very modern and minimal on here, and I really like the look of that. The one thing that I wish I would have done before is actually poke a hole in the wallpaper before I put the cane on, because now it's going to be a little bit harder to do that. I'm using the existing holes on the back side, so I don't need to re-drill it, and if I did re-drill it, I'm just afraid that it's going to ruin the cane pattern. So I'm going to figure out how to poke a hole and then basically just cut off little pieces of the cane where the hole is. Okay, let's give this a try. Oh, that might have worked. Maybe I don't have to cut off the cane. Let's see. Oh my god, yes. That worked out really well. Okay, let's hope the rest of them go that well. Oh yeah, that looks really good, you guys.
Parrot.
Ooh, perfect fit. It is time to get this baby into its home and to show you the finished result. This essentially is going to be a little dressing area on my side of the bed, and I cannot believe I did not do this sooner because it gives me all the storage I need to finally give my room some breathing space. And all it took was a bit of hacking and some DIY magic to make it happen. Alright guys, what do you think about my new IKEA hack? I honestly was worried that it was going to make this room feel smaller, but adding this in the corner actually makes the room feel bigger and draws your eye upwards, which I'm really happy about. And I love how it coordinates with my headboard, so they are not exactly matching, which I prefer, but they do look related, so everything just coordinates together so nicely. And not only does this look good, but my clothes finally have a place to go, so this whole area is looking so much better than it did before. I hope this video gave you some inspo, and if you recreate it, don't forget to tag me over on Instagram so that I can see it. And also let me know in the comments what item from IKEA I should hack next. I would love to see your input there. And thank you again, Factor, for sponsoring this video. If you guys want to get 60% off of your first box, make sure to click on my link in the description box. And don't forget to like this video if you haven't already. That is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!